who is this, by the way?
This is a little Jerry.
See, he's got it all figured out. He's not interested in any of you. And you're making quite a ruckus. And you're even focused on him. And he doesn't care. He's just sort of doing his thing.
Yep.
Now, he might be asleep, but he's in a very general state of well-being. He's not worrying about anything. He's not trying to make anything happen. He's allowing his well-being to happen to him.
That's what I like. I like to feel like I don't have to do anything. I like to feel like...
You need someone to carry you around?
I like to feel like how it's just flowing in easily, securely. When I sat down in this chair, I didn't think about that this chair was going to support me. I knew it wasn't a thought. Like with that kind of faith or with that kind of knowing is what you consider to be, or what I need to experience is allowing, by identifying with myself as a human form. In past cases, there's been a lot of lack, a lot of fear, a lot of, worry and doubt and stuff like that, a lot of disallowing. But I started a process where I would not focus on my physical self, but focus on my vibrational self, my eternal self, my true self, which is abundant and pure.
So what you're saying to us, and this is really good, you found a way to focus yourself on the same subject, but around the obstacles of disallowing, by going general enough that there was no resistance in the thought.
Yes. It was the confirmation I was desiring, that that's a good process or a good method to use when thinking about wealth.
So let's say that your desire, as you say, life has caused you to put a tremendous amount of wealth into your vibrational reality. But let's say you are like a lot of people, and the condition of your current bank account has your undivided attention. So you just keep noticing the money's just not there. In fact, there's just not enough money. We want you to no longer focus upon the condition that's preventing you from the receptive mode. Because the condition, you're facing the reality. You're facing the condition, and the condition is causing you to activate a vibration that is contrary to the vibrational reality that you want. So you can't get in the receptive mode because you're too much in the see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it reality mode. So you've got to find a way to be unconditional. So here's all of this abundance over here. It is consciousness, and it is abundance, and it is yours. It's got your name on it. It's yours. You put it there. It's been assimilated for you. It is your wealth. It's yours. But you can't see it because you're over here looking at your bank statement. So we say, don't look at that anymore. You've got to find a way to no longer look at the condition of money. You've got to find another way of translating that vibration into what? Into an emotion, into a feeling of freedom, into a feeling of ease, into a feeling of choices, into a feeling. Don't try to spend it right now. Just enjoy the feeling of the prosperity of it. Now, if you're able to do that, then you'll practice the vibration of it instead of the vibration of the absence of it. And in your unconditionality, you will find yourself a vibrational match to this. You see, the universe, your source, your inner being, knows every avenue. In fact, in every moment, there are 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 viable, receptive mode avenues for you to follow. But if you're focused upon how much money's in the bank, then in your conditional attention, the trees falling all around you in the forest, and you're not hearing any of it because you're not vibrationally in sync with it, because your facing reality has you in a whole different frequency. So what are you going to do with that? So instead of talking about money, let's talk about vibrational currency.
Wealth.
Instead of talking about wealth, let's talk about vibrational currency. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to freedom. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to ease of moving around. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to lifestyle. Let's talk about wealth as it applies to clarity, as it relates to vitality, as it relates to flexibility. So talk to us a little bit about the wealth that you seek.
I guess the wealth that I experience is the wealth that I can wake up and feel free, that I can go anywhere, do anything, and not worry about 20 years from now, not worry about when I'm 85.
Just said you're not doing it right now.
Right. Okay. So I will Go general.
Because you're giving too much information.
Right.
So with that notion in your mind, say it in an even more general, even less conditional, less specific way. You wake up, or maybe you've been awake, you're focused in the moment.
All right. Abundantly.
Now let's just stop for it, because now we started to make it specific about carrying you around because you carried Jerry up here. But let's talk about the security that he clearly feels. Clearly, that's a secure dog.
Yeah.
Completely secure, not spooked by any of you, not interested in any of you. So do you have the ability to feel that kind of security? It's something worth thinking about. And when you think about it, security can be unconditional in this sense, not thinking about money. Now you could say, well, he doesn't need money because he's got me, but you don't need it either because you've got the universe. You have a caretaker that we are calling universal forces. Some would call it God. We will call it inner being. We will call it vortex. We will call it universal force that is surrounding you, that has already gathered all of the particulars of absolute security and abundance and brought it all together and is calling you to it. And the emotion that you feel, that feeling of security, is the feeling of not misalignment. That feeling of security is the feeling of allowing yourself to be in the vibration of that. I am complete well-being and complete comfort. I feel complete comfort. I feel complete well-being. Just giving the permission to enjoy the surroundings of well-being and comfort.
That's allowing, right?
That's allowing.
Okay.
So it really is a matter of tuning yourself. We couldn't be having this conversation under better circumstances because you have brought a demonstrator of such utter tuning to such utter well-being. No. It's your nature to expect things to turn out well for you. So tell us again about the abundance that you seek, the wealth that you seek.
I want to experience security and...
Like this, or have you got it attached to the condition called money? If you can capture the essence of security, as is being demonstrated by this...
More relaxed, more...
By this... Is there a bank account with his name on it?
No.
Does he write checks?
No, he does not.
And so how do you explain his security?
He's more present, I believe.
There's another track that we're going down. Is he getting his security from you?
No.
Oh, that's so good that you know that. It's so good that you know that. He has a direct line of credit.
Beeline. Direct.
You all do, you see. And so he's just not doing anything to keep himself from being in that alignment. But what do you as a human do to keep yourself from feeling that continuous state of security and well-being?
I fear my future and regret my past, or
Yeah, well, most people do in some regard. So there's something to be said. If you fear your future and regret your past, there's something to be said for focusing in the moment. So here's someone focused in the moment. It's really interesting. It's so interesting, the comparison between the two of you. Because in the present moment, just allowing a complete realization. So we have some questions for you. Do you accept that you are an extension of source energy?
Yes.
Jerry does too. Do you accept that there is a vibrational version of you aware of you?
Yes.
And flowing to you at all times?
I do.
Isn't that a reason for some conscious sense of security?
It does, and I've never looked at it.
But you want to apply it to the conditions. You want to apply it to the conditions of wealth. You say you don't want to talk about the conditions, and yet they are rampant in your vibration.
They are.
You're not yet asking for what we're asking you to ask for, which is something that you've already got. So if you would accept that you already have that direct connection to the security that you're asking for, and you could revel and bask in that sense of security, then everything that matches that would flow into your experience as manifestation or realization or validation or confirmation of a vibrational stance.
Okay. What you just said to me had a little click in my brain happened, okay? So, all right, I do realize that I am a extension of source energy. I do realize that there is I'm aware that there is a vibrational part of myself that is aware of me.
Just for a moment, feel that awareness. Feel that awareness. Feel that awareness and call it security. Call it source energy focused on me and feel it. Feel it.
It's like being home.
Feel it. It's well-being. It's comfort and well-being. Feel it. Just rest in that. Don't need it to be about anything else. And don't need it to be the ulterior motive to get somewhere else. Just let that be what that bees. And stop trying to make it be other things for a while. And if you let it be what it bees until it bees it really steadily, then in it being that, abundance of all nature will be yours. Just try to be a little more. Just let yourself be the translator of the vibration just that far. Don't try to take it all the way to the bank right now.
Yeah.
Just take it that far. You can take it that far. You took it that far already.
Yep.
Most of you took it that far already. Let that be far enough. That's what we're asking of you. Let that be far enough translation. Let that be the success that you're looking for. Because we promise you, all these conditions that you want to be realities, you want them because you believe in the having of them, you will feel better. Well, when you show yourself that you can feel better whether you have them or not, then they have to circle back and give themselves to you. They have to. They have to. But if you need them to be before you feel that, then you don't feel that, and then you've short-circuited, and then you can't get there. But if you can be that, I have accomplished a state of being that has brought me the benefit of clarity and well-being. And right now, that's enough for me. That's the success that I'm looking for. That's the success that I'm looking for. And it is our promise to all of you that as you practice it and sustain it a little while, and practice it and sustain it a little while, practice it and sustain it a little while, your point of attraction will shift. There will be evidence of all manner of things that will come just as a result of this conversation that we've had so far. Even though you weren't on the stage, even though you may have not even been really listening with your ears, the vibrational stuff that's happened in this room has shifted you vibrationally. You are in a different vibrational point of attraction than you've ever been before. And circumstances of your life are going to demonstrate the shift in your vibration as a result of this conversation. So the wealth is already yours because you already have access to this infinite intelligence. The wealth is already yours because you already have access to this vibrational currency. The wealth is already yours. The unconditional wealth is already yours. Revel in that. Revel in the unconditional vibrational access that you have. Let that be your singular goal for a little while. And watch all the other evidence that comes in response to that accomplishment.